Hey y'all, it's Harley. Welcome to Chaos Connections, the not safe for work podcast, removing the filters from the Instagram of parenting. We're three moms, myself, Harley, and also Rayne and Raven, parenting our darling crotch goblins through various stages and phases while trying to maintain our relationships, our careers. Hopefully, there's a sense of humor in there because it's needed, and our sense of self. Join us through our triumphs, laugh at, and commiserate with our struggles, and just overall marvel at our batshit crazy lives. Just be mindful of our motto, which is written in Latin that I can't pronounce, but I can tell you translates to FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Enjoy the show.
So I know that we've done a couple of pulse check. Well, not a couple. We did a pulse check a couple weeks ago, but
So when we call ourselves the Moms of Chaos or Chaos Connections, there's a reason for that.
there is. And I apologize if y'all hear a weird sound in the background. I have been away from my house for 2 weeks, so therefore my hellhounds are not wanting to leave my feet, and one of them is very determined to get a box under my desk so he can continue shredding it. So I promise there's not a wood chipper incident going on. It's literally just Kurz being a mama's boy and wanting to play with a box.
Unless you have demons. Do you have demons?
Have you met my children?
Fair point. Fair point.
And my cats?
Jeez. So, pulse check time.
So, we'll go ahead and do the disclaimer. We definitely are not safe for work. We have no idea where we're going with this, so there may be triggering things, but this is stuff that we deal with in our daily life, so other people probably deal with it too, because we are not the only ones living through the chaos of being moms and partners and people. And
this is why we bring this shit to you, is so that you know that you're not alone. That you can fall apart with other people that understand. It's okay. We'll pat you on the back and give you loves and send you away with a cookie.
Or
They're a little crunchy right now.
Or a piece of brain cake, because Raven made a brain cake today. She's gonna have to share it.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna have to share it on the socials. So, like I said, I have been away from my house for 2 weeks. My family definitely did not like me gone. It felt so weird to be gone because I went from my chaos to house and dog sitting for my mom and stepdad, and I go from having 4 dogs who do not understand the meaning of personal space, obviously, and to 1 dog who rightfully is a bit sad and mopey, and then is not all up in my personal space except for when it's time to go to bed. And it was so quiet. I was the only one in that house besides that dog. It was so quiet. I have a witchkin too that has invaded the room. I'm not sure what she's looking for. So, one moment. What do you need?
Yes. And so, for those of you on YouTube, you can see my lovely claws. Since I have been out of work, I can no longer justify the expense of getting my nails done. So I'm in the process of taking them off, and I'm very sad. And then we're going to let them rest, and then I will do them myself. And we'll see just how fucked up that gets.
And she also, well, we have an acquaintance that we're going to reach out to that used to do this for a living. So maybe we can barter like my steak and cheese that she loved.
Something, because initially I was hand filing everything, and let me tell you what a fucking slog that is. I mean, and I don't have super awesome guns yet, so it's not like I could really like muscle through it, No, it's bullshit. But oh my god, let me tell you guys about the brain cake. So somebody, I don't remember who, and I feel terrible about that, got me the official Nightmare Before Christmas baking book.
It was
for
either
Christmas.
me or Harley. I think it's Harley. I think it's Harley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So since I've been out of work, I'm like, you know what? I've got time to clean some shit around the house. I've got time to do some baking. Fuck it, why not? So I handed the book off to Dar and Apprentice 2, and I was like, why don't y'all pick something in here for me to make? And Dar picked the brain cake. And I was like, all right, looks simple enough. I'll just buy some cinnamon rolls and cut them up, and then Bob's your uncle. No. So it's a jelly roll cake that's been stuffed with custard. So what you do is you make the cakes, and one is in a round pan and one is in the big ass cookie sheet, and you bake those, and then you let them cool, and then you spread jelly on the big ass one, and you roll it up, and you stick it in the fridge for a while, and then you make the custard, and then you make homemade whipped cream, and then you gently fold the two together along with some freeze-dried raspberries, and then you can slice the jelly roll, and then you put it into a big like round bowl, and you line it with all of the sliced jelly rolls so it looks like brain, and then you pour all the stuff in, and then you put it in the fridge like overnight, and then you get to take it out, and it was really yummy, and it looked really cool. It looked like a brain.
So one of the reasons that we're doing this is, so the brain cake does look awesome. She's showing it on screen for those of you who tune in to YouTube. Otherwise, you can tune into our socials, and she will be posting it up there if she has not already, because I know how she gets. But it is just Raven and I tonight because Miss Harley is under the weather, and we did not have anything.
She sends her regrets, and she hates missing y'all. But
she does. But hey, I don't get interrupted this time.
Oh wait,
Probably she said she's probably gonna punch me for that next time she sees me and she listens to this.
Yes.
But say I love you.
Almost spooky season.
What are you talking about?
Officially spooky season.
Dude, September 1st. September 1st.
All the time. So I'm mapping out how we're going to do our zombie yard this year. I know I'm going to put Charles and Adam out there. So we have these huge animatronics, and I named one of them Charles and I named one of them Adam after Beetlejuice.
Okay. Pausing that, going into her garage not knowing she has spooky shit just standing there. What the fuck? There's somebody in your garage. And then I remember, I met you on Halloween. These fuckers were in your fucking yard. You bitch. I don't even remember why I went into the garage. I went into, she's like, oh, it's in the garage. Just go grab it. I don't even remember what it was. It was 3 years ago.
I don't either.
I do remember that I was like, whoa, son of a bitch.
Yep. And we also have a life-size wooden coffin that is, somebody made it. And in the neighborhood we used to live in, it was like predominantly military rentals. And military moves, you're only allowed a certain amount of weight to move. Otherwise, you have to pay for the excess. So around moving time every year, you just have to drive around and look at what's been left on the curb because hot damn, and that's where I found this coffin. Somebody decided it was not worth the extra money to move this coffin with them after they had built it with like a face hole in it, and it's definitely got spaces inside to wire it up with lights and shit. And I'm like, oh, you poor sucker, but come to mama. Thank you.
No, so because finances and such are tight, we have a fun excursion planned for those of us in this city that we are in, and I am back home. We're going to, instead of just going and buying the bougie things that she sees,
mm-hmm.
I am doing my frugal influence and being like, okay, we're going to Dollar Tree and we can make this. We just need to get quick dry cement. We need to get this and we need to get this and we are good. You want a pumpkin arch? We can make a pumpkin arch. Let's go.
Yes.
So, this is what we're doing in the next couple of days.
But if y'all are familiar with Dollar Tree at all, you should know that it's going to take us more than one Dollar Tree location to find all the shit that we need, because
we did decide we're going to go try to find the one in the bougie area.
Yes. We got to find the one in the bougie area, and there should be like a bigger ones somewhere. Like supposedly, every town has like a super Dollar Tree. Which
Yeah, but they don't tell us where it's at.
They don't tell us where it's at. They don't list it like that in on Google or anything. So you're like, I guess I'll just try all of them.
I'm not driving all around this town. We're only hitting like a handful of them. I can only take so much Dollar Tree because then I'm sitting there going, I feel like I'm spending so much money and I could have bought this at one place as I haven't seen anything else. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the other
how I felt when we attempted that last time. Is like, there's not anything different. There's not anything different.
Yeah. And I mean, that's really the trick with making stuff yourself, is you have to make sure that the cost of all of the ingredients do not equal the thing itself that you are trying to avoid buying.
So for the arches, it's not exactly an arch, but I have seen it on one of the people that I watch their DIY stuff. There's a soggy box slap on my foot and it's gross. Oh God, ew.
Aww, Rayne got blessed.
Mom, I missed you so much. And there's a nose. There's two noses. Okay. I made noise. Oh, the hi-hats.
Oh, there's my big dump truck. Yeah, he definitely missed Mom. Hey, Bubba's. Oh. For those of you not on YouTube, Hex just jumped up onto Rayne and was giving her all the kisses. And then when she tried to get him off of her, he took her headphones with him. I gave a recap.
I am not wearing my usual headset. This headset is corded. It got pulled off my head by my fucking dogs. And now there's two dogs fighting over a box underneath my desk. Literally right on top of my feet.
And it's soggy.
Not all of it. Just that one spot that touched my foot that made me, apparently summon the hounds of hell. But as I was saying before I got interrupted by you, one of them made this spell book that's for like inside the house decor that's out of foam board. So it's huge. And it looks really awesome.
You know what? Apprentice 2 and I were actually talking about getting some of that foam board to make some fresh tombstones for the yard.
We do have to make sure that they are sealed properly, which is, it's actually in the car because I have not unloaded my car. I literally came in, I had food, I got stuck in traffic where I was 45 miles from home and it still said I was 2 hours away. I was very upset and I called and I bitched. To Captain and to Raven, and my mother, because it was bullshit. I wanted to be home already. I did warn you guys. Funny.
Oh my God, it sounds like he's got gremlins.
I have gremlins. I don't have gremlins.
No, I mean,
that's Harley.
I mean, like literal gremlins.
Okay, I fed them after midnight. I'm sorry.
Dude, I thought you knew better.
I lost track of time.
It's on the warning card and everything.
Well, I mean, it could have been one of the kids. I wouldn't put it past them.
This is true. They are adorably absent-minded at times.
Oh God, yeah. So, but anyway, at Dollar Tree,
they made the spell book.
They made the spell book, and I mean, it was this huge spell book. I don't even think they cut down the board, but I'm sitting there going, if you cut it down, you can make that look really badass. And I'm thinking, ooh, I want to put cauldrons and maybe a spell book or two above my my cabinets in my kitchen because I have a witchy kitchen. Obviously, I am a witch. So witch theme is going through witch theme, shipwreck theme. That's my house. And then probably fairy haunted garden upstairs because children. So I'm like, ooh, that's a really cool idea. But the Dollar Tree has the pumpkins and they have where they're stackable pumpkins. And they have two sizes. They have the size it's like literally just for like your desk and it's kind of small. And then they have the bigger size that would be like for next to a fireplace. And they're plastic and they're hollow.
I'm sorry, pause. Next to a fireplace. Most of us don't put pumpkins next to our fireplace. I have to know what's going through your head.
Okay, when I say next to a fireplace, I mean like the fake fireplace, and it's literally just decor because it's tiered. So it's got a pumpkin, a little bit smaller pumpkin, a little bit smaller pumpkin. And then they, decorated it preppy with painting it beige and a bow.
Oh, they went full basic bitch.
I said I get good ideas. I did not say that I followed the ideas to a T, because, hello, it's me.
Let's see. I have moss. I have 50 bajillion types of glue. I have...
That didn't spill on your floor? Or that
yes,
did?
that did not spill on my floor. Okay, I'm a little klutzy, and I really should not leave bottles of Mod Podge laying around.
It wasn't laying around. She was done with it. She knew the thing was drying. She did not close it. And then she turned, and it went everywhere. Yeah, and this was after I yelled at her about having someone's hair on dead things.
Yes. And this was also the second time I've done that with Mod Podge.
And there was nothing protecting the carpet.
No, nothing.
Or her new desk.
Sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to let her live this down.
That's probably fair.
I'm sure.
I had a friend in high school. I am my aesthetic is goth, steampunk, rockabilly kind of thing, a little tending towards the darker side of things. And I was a cheerleader in high school. And when I tell people that know me, they're like, no, you weren't. I cannot possibly picture that. I'm like, yeah, I was. But I had a friend in high school that because of that every time she passed me, she would go, rah, rah, blondie. And I'm like, I'm not blonde. Because I wasn't. I was a brunette. But apparently, I had blonde roots that really, drilled into the brain and messed things up. So I have the occasional very pretty moment.
So, have I told the you're pretty, how that came to be?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll go into that in a minute. But piggybacking off of what she said about, people who know her and hearing that she was a cheerleader, pretty much knowing her now and knowing how she was in high school, yeah, she's a changeling. She's not that same. She's not the same person. She's completely different. Anything that she says from back then, I'm sitting there going, no, that doesn't fit you. No, you're full of shit. You're completely full of shit. No, it's not. I've interacted with her family on the phone.
Yeah, believe me, there are times I wish I was completely full of shit over some of this. Because, damn.
Yeah, that's why you're in therapy. Anyway.
That's a big part of it.
So, you're pretty thing.
Yes.
I have established multiple times I'm an ass. And so is everybody in my household, including my animals that are at my feet being obnoxious. But I know it was Witchkin 1. I don't remember what she said, but it was something just like that did not come out of your mouth. Please tell me you're joking. You what the fuck? Right? And so I go over and I start petting her. I'm petting her head and her shoulder. And I go, you're so pretty. And she got kind of confused. And Captain had to explain what she's telling you is at least you're pretty. Mm-hmm. Because you're not being very smart.
Yeah, in our house it's a good thing you're pretty.
And we were and this has gone on. So this was a thing that just anytime someone had a blonde moment, said something completely fucking flabbergasting, you just go over and you start
all of your flabbers.
Yes, you go over and you just start petting them and go, so pretty, you're pretty.
I fucking love it when she does this to Harley, because Harley gets confused for a second, and then happy for a second, and then pissed. And it's just kind of fun to watch that play of emotions cross her face.
But we were in a grocery store, and again, it was Witchkin 1. And I go up to her, and I'm walking because she did something, and I just kind of stopped, and I turned, and I looked at her, and I go up to her, and I have my hand up, and she screams in a store, in a grocery store. She screams,
"Oh, my sweet summer child! What are we going to do with her?"
Yes, that did happen, and it was great. And my feet are being squished. At least it's not soggy this time. It's just, they're trying to cut off part of my foot, apparently.
So catching up, Rayne's been gone for 2 weeks. I'm still in the ranks of the job list and not liking it, and I have a schedule established. I just am shite at following it. So next week we're gonna buckle down and get to it.
And I am between jobs. So I did get back into the employment ranks. I was at a call center. Call centers are not my favorite. But then while I was house sitting, I had to go I thought I had a really bad ear infection. I'm like, okay, that's what this has to be. So I go to urgent care. Urgent care turns around and sends me to the ER. Harley is with me. Okay, so
Oh boy.
So she's like, can I go back there with you? I'm like, I don't care.
Right?
Why am I going to care? I've known you for years. You probably know more about me than a good chunk of people, because I don't know if y'all realize it. We TMI, and when you have the level of friendship that we have,
it's not so much a thing. Like,
it
we try
really
and
isn't.
keep like gory details out of it, but
It depends on our mood.
Yeah.
It depends on our mood, and if it's something that we're wanting to either traumatize people with, or we want to understand it and we need another person before it's like, okay, is this something that I should, whatever.
So I'm concerned about this.
But so, and I mean, I was fucking hurting, and in training, you can't, you can only miss X amount. It's very minute amounts of things, especially in a call center. And so I had messaged him like, I need to go to urgent care. I'm going to urgent care after work. Oh, then it turns out I went to the ER. They had no fucking clue what was going on with me because I thought it was an ear infection. It was not. CT of my ears, perfectly clear. Then they're like, okay, well, you need to go to an ENT. Luckily, my mom has a good one, and I was able to get in. I wasn't able to get in on Friday because I had to call and make the appointment on Friday, but I was able to get in on Monday. So I went this whole weekend being in severe pain, trading off Tylenol and ibuprofen and Sudafed, just trying to get where I could be okay, which we probably would have recorded last week how we had intended had I not been looking like death and feeling like death.
And it was not our Halloween episode, so we could not have passed her off as dressed up.
And I would not have been a very good on-air personality. I probably would have either not said anything, or I would have been really bitchy. Because when I don't feel good, I annoy the crap out of Captain because I get clingy. Oh my God, do I get clingy. I get clingy, and I want cuddles, and I'm going to sit there and whine because I'm hurting. And when I get to the point where I'm having to take meds like I was, oh my God, I am fucking horrible. That is the Rayne equivalent of the man flu. When I am in that much pain, I am useless.
Yeah, she gets kind of whiny.
There's no kind of, I get fucking whiny. And then, so I made it through the weekend. I go to the ENT. At this point, I've missed pretty much a whole day, but I had an interview and I nailed the interview.
Fuck yes.
So, and when I say I nailed the interview, I mean I nailed this interview. And when we were ending the call, no questions.
Did you leave it panting with your phone number?
I left it panting with my phone number, just like, oh yeah, right there. I need her. But they're like, okay, so we're going to be finishing up interviews tomorrow, and we'll be reaching out to our staffing company POCs within 48 hours, 24, 36 hours. So pretty much, you got 2 days, and then you're going to know if you made the cut or not, right? So this was in the afternoon that this interview happened. Okay. The next morning, I'm on the phone with Captain, and my phone rings. I'm like, okay, well, I'll get it later. I know who it is, And then I get a text message. Then I get an email, and text message and the email both say the same thing. Tried to reach you, but we, I wasn't able to connect. Please give me a call back as soon as possible. I have good news. Well, I got the fucking job. And then I call back, and then it's like, are you still interested? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And when you've been out of work for a long time and you're desperate, not only for the paycheck, but to also get back into the professional world and back into a normal routine, it's so hard to maintain that professional, aloof demeanor instead of as desperate as you want to sound. Because you're like, fuck yes, please hire me.
Yeah.
When can I start? Can I start tomorrow?
Yeah, pretty much. I pretty much have to wait until my background check clears, and I have to go take a drug test tomorrow because, I'm a massive druggie, so I don't know how I'm going to pass that one. But,
oh God, you're going to have Tylenol in your system.
No, I'm going to have steroids in my system from my other meds. Because she offered to give me, narcotic freaking. Sorry, Witchkin one just got home. Anywho's teenage girls fighting over a bathroom. Go figure.
Yeah, see, I usually turn the narcotics down, but y'all don't get it twisted. It is not because I'm some kind of saint. It's because they make me fucking sick. Otherwise, if they didn't, I would totally be like, fuck yes, give me all the good shit.
I turned them down. One, I was in a house by myself with a creature that was depending upon me for multiple things. But I also don't like taking stuff like that unless it is absolutely necessary because of encounters I've had in my past. Not necessarily encounters that were me, but encounters that affected me because of people making dumbass decisions. And I have no problem with weed. Really don't. But harder stuff, yeah, no. Take a couple hits, go to sleep. That's what it's there for. Unless you're me, you take a couple hits and you're like, I need to cook.
God, that would be me.
That was me in my hardcore stoner days. I'm obviously not a stoner now because I have to be an adult. Fucking stupid. And you aren't.
Seriously.
Because you're looking for a job, but then
Jeez.
You normally end up working for the government. You can't smoke anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Matter of fact, I have an interview tomorrow for one such position.
And we are very hopeful that it's
about. Yes. And I'm super stoked about this because it sounds like fucking right up my alley. But I've been working for the government for 20 years, 22 years now. So
that you were enlisted?
We are, because that counts. So for the last 22 years, I've been subjected to the rigors of either the UCMJ or a security clearance. So yeah, I don't toke as much as
She really wants to, and it's so funny.
I would love to, but I can't because of my clearance and maintaining a paycheck. But I mean, I'm not going to hate on anybody else that does. I don't give a shit if it's legal in your state or not. Just don't drive high, okay? Please don't drive high.
So here's my thing.
That's my only PSA. You're hearing doors opening and closing at Rayne's house, and it's very suspicious.
Witchkin one is running back and forth. I think she's getting ready to go and hang out with her boyfriend or her mom or both. So
I wish her all the luck.
So I completely fucking spaced. Oh, but then, I was very sad because it did take me forever to get home. But as I was stuck in standstill traffic, Raven had, said, hey, I don't have my headphones, so I can't take you into the store with me because I need to go grocery shopping. But I'm going to let you jam out. So I was jamming out. And then I saw an email come through from Witchkin 2's therapist. And I was like, okay, I'm literally pretty much in a parking lot because that makes
Otherwise known as the freeway.
Otherwise known as the freeway on the opposite side of fucking town from my house. I'm a little salty because I wanted to be home so bad. And I was like, I accidentally clicked on the wrong email. And this is how the conversation when I called Raven back happened. I clicked on the wrong email. Oh, is that okay? Like I didn't delete the email from the therapist. But the reason I clicked on the wrong email is because at the same time I was going to click on that email, the other email came through. And this email, I had to call because I needed to squee and make all types of happy dance sounds because it's for a job that is what I have been searching for. And it's not a guarantee, but I did get the, hey, we want to put you through the next round. You pass, everything that's on your resume, blah, 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 blah. Junior project manager. Sign me the fuck up now.
Seriously, we're so hopeful for her because she's been trying to break into this for a long time. She's got more than enough skills to hack it and to fucking do a good job at it. So yeah, she called me as I'm in the checkout, and I'm like holding my phone up to my ear and trying to unload my groceries onto the cart, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Whoever's behind me will. They can wait a minute. But yes, anytime you need somebody to squee with you, we are here for you because that's amazing, and we love to hear good news all the time. In other news, that brain cake was delicious because we used raspberry jam in the jelly roll. And then freeze-dried raspberries in the custard, so it was fantastic.
Sorry, I was talking to Witchkin one. My apologies.
I figured.
She had to bitch about her day at work because she hates sales and she hates chihuahuas because she got bit by a chihuahua.
I hate sales, which is why I've never worked in it. And chihuahuas are
rats.
Everybody has the same amount of evil inside of them. The same amount of hate and rage. Okay, let's call it one barrel full. Everybody has one barrel full. But the smaller you are, the more compressed that barrel gets. And so it's under pressure. So that's why chihuahuas are such assholes.
So at once upon a time, I was working at a call center and I was in the insurance field. This is not how Harley and I met. But Harley is the reason that I did have this job. So I worked the later shift, and the person who was on the phone with me was also a vertically challenged individual. And
hold up. No. If it was a challenge, we could overcome it. It is vertically impaired.
I'm going to call it a challenge because, yeah, I'm not going into that. My door's open and my kids are walking around. Anyway, got to remember, Captain is 6'1". He's a whole foot taller than me. Anyway, but she, part of the fun size brigade. And she's like, no, I don't say fun size. I say I'm condensed evil.
Yes, this tracks.
And
this is why short people have so much rage. Because we have the same amount of rage as a big person, but it's just compacted and under pressure.
Under pressure.
My theory, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. So you went to the ENT, Everything all good from that?
My ears
Do you
are
need
fine.
follow-ups?
My ears are fine. Turns out the pain in my ear is because of TMJ. Apparently, me getting frustrated and gritting my teeth, decided to say, hey, Rayne, we don't like that.
Do you get to wear mouth guards to bed now?
No. I actually don't wake up like that. It's from me getting annoyed in training. Whenever I get annoyed, and I know you've seen it. I know you've seen the look on my face. Whenever I get annoyed, I clench my teeth. So I am trying to control my tongue without biting through it. I clench my teeth.
So she has been in training for this call center job. And for most people, this training should be fairly elementary and, give you the basics of what you need to do to perform the job. But apparently in her class, there are some people that need some very extra hand holding. And it has made her absolutely insane, which is funny to listen to whenever she has to bitch about it.
It makes me insane. One, I feel bad for the trainers because as Raven will tell you, she found a Scrum Master in the wild. A Scrum Master is a trainer. It is a trainer. It's you teach different ways of doing things. I'm a trainer. I have trained freaking NDE techs how to deal with a new software for reporting and things like that with a different company that I worked for in the past. I've trained people on how to do the coordinator procedure at another job. I have trained people in pretty much every position I've had for the last decade or more. Not to mention, me going into witchy conversations and saying my point of view, because fun fact, and this will go on to my portion of Patreon, witchery is not a one size fits all. Everybody's witchery is different and unique to them. And anyone who says that you're doing it wrong,
is a gatekeeping asshole?
They could be gatekeeping, but at the same time, listen to what they say. If it resonates with you, that's one thing. But if they're delivering it in a way that's a complete and total prick, tell them to kick fucking rocks. Anyway, onward and upward. So I felt bad for the trainers, and not only that, but for the people who were getting it, like me and a couple of other people. We had to disengage because otherwise we were going to sit there and start overthinking. I'm sorry. I have anxiety and ADHD. Those are my two freaking, a lot of points go into that on my character sheet. All right. A lot of points. I'm going to start overthinking because this is having to be explained so many fucking times. And it doesn't make sense why you do not understand that you need to do XYZ to get to this simple answer. It literally was 2 fucking clicks. How the fuck did you miss that? It's in the freaking question. How did you not know where to click? What's... Like literally, I would go, because at one part of the training we had to be on camera. Well, in a professional setting, even if you're at your own home, this being my vape and nicotine are not supposed to be on camera. So I would randomly have technical issues and my camera would just turn off. And my friend that I would be messaging on Instagram as we're going through this, we are sitting there and we're just like, how is this happening? And then we start sending each other reels. And I have a rule. That I stuck to until this training. I don't get on and watch reels except for like on the weekends because it is a time suck. And this is when I blow up the Moms of Chaos chat with fucking reels. I'm like, hey, did you see this one? What
the other day?
One?
The other day I got a notification that Rayne had shared a reel with me on Instagram. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me go look at it. No, I couldn't look at it. I had to scroll up and get go through the 5 before that were in there that I had not seen previously. And I'm like, and I'm weird about sounds. Okay. I have misophonia. I swear to God, some hearing loss. And so I really like and appreciate the videos where the text that they're saying is on the screen and I don't ever have to listen to them. But those are never the ones that Rayne sends me. She always sends me the ones where I'm watching. And I'm like, oh, fine.
Okay, but the ones I send are funny. They are funny.
I suppose.
Or they're adorable because they're animals.
They are.
Or you don't need sound because why the fuck do you need sound when you're looking at that delicious snack that I send on occasion? No, the snack is not of me. The snack the snack is a lumber snack. And yes.
I am happily married. I am satisfactorily married, but I ain't dead.
Dude, I am very spoiled because not only does Captain and I share a great connection in many ways, but we also share the connection of, dude, check this dude out. He's hot. Dude, check her out. Muscle mommy. Ooh, goth mommy?
Muscly goth mommy would have me in a puddle on the floor.
Yeah, we have a few of those saved in our reels. And it's one of those things that he appreciates the male form. He can understand it. He is very, very straight. I'm like pasta.
I'm more bendy.
I'm very bendy. I use that line of straight and not straight like a jump rope.
Yes, as you should. So before we started recording, and this I found absolutely goddamn hilarious. Typically, when it's a recording night, Harley and I are sitting up here waiting for Rayne. And Rayne has lost track of time because she's sitting in the smoke shack talking to Captain. And she always prioritizes her conversations with Captain over anything else. So we're all like, come on. And we start blowing up her and Captain's phone if it gets to be like 10 minutes after, right? So tonight, we had a set time to record. And I'm on the phone with Captain. And I feel that buzz in the phone that tells me that Rayne is blowing up the chat. And I'm like, and I'm still talking to Captain. And then there's a phone call coming in. And I pull it away just enough to look at it. And oh, it's Rayne. I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. And I'm like, keep talking to Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Got to finish the conversation.
I actually didn't know she was talking to Captain. I know that Captain got an email she sent earlier the day, and he finally saw it. I did not know that they were talking. And in the message that she replied to me was, I'm finishing up eating.
I was, because I couldn't stuff my face full of homemade Big Mac when I'm on the phone with Captain.
Fair.
By the way, what bitch puts Big Mac salad on the menu and doesn't buy lettuce? Apparently this one.
Yeah, that.
No, actually, I know exactly what happened. Is those plastic square containers of lettuce? Mm-hmm. I had one in the fridge when I made the grocery order for this week's menu. And I was like, oh, sweet, I don't need to buy lettuce. I've got lettuce. And then I get home with groceries and we're, cleaning out the fridge. And it turns out that lettuce looks great on the end that was facing the front of the fridge.
It's not great.
But the rest of it was this like thready colony. No, it was not great. So we tossed it and I forgot that we didn't have lettuce.
So here is a little tip that I got reminded of in my, as Captain calls it, my vacation.
I suppose it was. You only had yourself and one dog.
I am not built for being by myself.
This is true.
I am really not.
I am, but she's not.
I did crafty things. I watched some White Collar.
Oh, yeah, you made a really cool skull.
Bless whoever that was. That was Dar.
Soon tight. That was only 3. Wow. Usually it's 6 or 7. Yes, I count.
I know. Hold on. I'm thinking because I lost track of that one.
The really cool skull that you made.
Okay, so really, I think I've shared it on socials already. If not, I will go and check. Hex, what are you getting into? Hex, get out of the box.
Oh, Hexy.
Anyway, Oh, no. I didn't know she was on the phone with Captain. X! Sorry if that was loud. My apologies. I think he dropped his ball in the box.
Okay, y'all, Rayne has this, like, really sweet, high, soothing speaking voice, and then she turns to yell at the dogs, and this fucking demon comes out, and it's hilarious.
Oh, no, it made the kids laugh for the longest time. Because we'd be talking, and they'd be asking for, like, random questions, like, about cooking, or about cards, or whatever. And we're having the normal conversation. It's my normal voice. Dog's doing something stupid. Then demon mom comes out, and then I transition right back, and there's not. It's like,
Uh-huh.
It's literally. I'm apparently a Gemini twin.
It's the trope of split personality, which I'm calling it a trope because I know that's really not how split personality works. However, it's hilarious.
Yes.
So yes, I'm on the phone with Captain because I had applied to a job at the place where he works, and so I've been applying to everything under the sun with the confidence of a mediocre white man because fuck it, the worst they're going to say is no. So this particular job that I applied for, I knew I'm only marginally qualified for it, but fuck it, what are they going to say?
No.
So of course they rejected me, and then Rayne's like, "Did you tell Captain?" Oh, okay. So I sent it to him along with my resume. And so he was telling me the ins and outs of how to apply at this place and what to look for and what certain words mean. Because every fucking company has a different meaning for the word, let's say, project manager. It's annoying and I hate it. But, so, have you been taking your meds?
Yes.
Okay, so have I. And I've been making sure that Apprentice 2 takes their meds as well.
And you know I've been taking my meds because I've been driving you crazy because my happy pill's been working.
This is true. You've been drinking fluids?
You know my big cup that I got last time I was in the town of Harley? Yeah, I've been drinking at least 2 of those a day of just water.
Sweet.
And
we cannot start calling it Harley Town. She will never, that will swell her head so big. Cannot.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to say, Mamaville. And we are separating church and state here. They know we're in Texas, but that does not give them exactly where in Texas.
Do. And we had, I don't know if you got to see it because you were driving in hell, but we had a rare autumn day in Texas today. It felt fantastic. The sun was shining. There was not a cloud in that big blue sky. So I had to, when I was outside with the dogs, one of the 50,000 times they wanted to go out today, I had to post a picture of the sky because it was just such a pretty blue color.
No, I was driving and I was sad because I was so close to home but so far away.
But you're home now.
But I'm home now.
And since she has a break in between gigs and I have a rather large break of undetermined ending, how much trouble can we get into?
Well, we are crafty bitches. So we already have that planned. But let me see if I could share my screen real quick.
Okay, you share your screen.
Hold on, I need to put something over that so you can't see what that name is. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to change the name for right now because I literally just want to change the name. Let me change the name.
So I have been having a blast making some digital art. I'm not a draw type of artist. I'm more of a, here's the background, let me put some shit on it and make it look good. So I bought a bunch of clip arts from some Etsy artists so that I can, use them. And as long as I don't resell those images, I'm still within the scope of what I agreed to. But I've been having fun. I made like a steampunk version of a couple paintings, a couple famous paintings. I made Madame Verne's garden, which I actually did paint on a canvas, but I'm not that artistic. So, but
no, your flower vase
version looks really awesome.
your
Yeah.
your flower vase that's going to become Medusa. Okay,
Yeah,
so here's what I was doing while I was waiting on Raven tonight. So I have these are my notebooks. OneNote is great because you can have it on your phone, you can do this, and it syncs up. So the MOC stuff I actually share with the other members of MOC. So these are recipes that I need to write out from all of the social media recipes that I find. Butter swim biscuits. This was on Instagram. It was pumpkin rolls. So it was like yeast rolls, and then she made this cinnamon butter to go with the pumpkin rolls, and I'm sitting there going, doing apple cinnamon would be awesome.
It would, but you have to explain what butter swim biscuits are, because you said that earlier and I just passed it off as if I totally knew what you were talking about.
Okay, so you make it's obviously a homemade thing, obviously recipes. But you get the dough, you put it in the bottom of a baking pan, baking dish, whatever, and then you melt butter and you put it over it. So the dough is literally swimming in butter as it bakes.
That sounds an awful lot like my Dutch baby recipe, which my family has always called German pancakes, but it's really a Dutch baby.
Yeah, I was told they were German pancakes because it was made, and then I was brought some, and I was sad that it was so little of a portion because I had to share with Wichkin too.
You have to have a lot of eggs and milk and butter in order to make a really proper, delicious Dutch baby. But and actually, I want to say my great grandma's cornbread recipe is the same way, swimming in butter, which I'm actually going to make this week.
There you go. I told Captain that I was making the biscuits tomorrow, and he's like, huh? I explained what it was, and he's like, I am perfectly fine with this. But, so then the surf and turf with the white wine sauce, which I've actually made. I had dinner with a friend while I was in the town that I was in. I hadn't seen her in about 10 years. And this came out so awesome. I forgot that she does not like rare steaks, so I had to put hers back in the oven to finish it off. And she doesn't like seafood, so she ate the potatoes and she ate a good portion of the steak, and she did like the sauce. But yeah, so that one is really good. I have tried it. I'm actually going to be making it for Captain's birthday, which is coming up. This one is, stuffed French toast roll. You layer the bread, like you make it like it's a Yule log type cake, but you have actual bread. You whip up the cream cheese and you put strawberry or whatever freaking fruit you want on it. You roll it up. You freeze it for an hour so it holds its shape. Then you do a milk egg wash thing. You coat that. You put it in. You bake it. You sprinkle it with powdered sugar. And if you want syrup, you can have syrup on your slice.
Sounds kind of like my family's stuffed French toast recipe, but it's more of a, not a souffle, but like more of a custardy bread casserole. But
yeah.
It calls for like cream cheese that you just kind of dribble in with all the bread chunks. And I'm like, that's boring. So I usually use mascarpone cheese, and I don't use regular bread. I'll use like a cinnamon bread or a crunchy French bread or croissants, and then you make the custard and pour it in, and then you bake it.
So I am not sure if they have it wherever you are, whoever happens to be listening to this, but at the grocery store that is in Texas and very well known in Texas of H-E-B, they have breakfast breads, and they have one that is called French toast, and they have one that is a cinnamon swirl. They have an apple cinnamon.
Oh, and right now, Pepperidge Farms has pumpkin spice swirl bread. I am that kind of basic bitch. I am all about the pumpkin spice. Y'all leave me alone.
And I am all about the gimme, the caramel, and the smoked butterscotch, and I love caramel. So anyway,
it's funny that you have curry on here, because I have lamb curry on my menu coming up.
Yeah, this isn't the menu because I have to see what's in my house because I've been gone for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to see what I'm going to be cooking because I also need to see if I am going to be going into the office every day or if I'm going to be able to do some bougie stuff in my kitchen that I have to clean because I've been gone for 2 weeks. So the curry, there's that. And I mean, because on social media, they have these
collections.
Yeah, pretty much collections of it's actually not a compilation. There you go. Compilations of the different recipes and stuff like that. And sometimes it's different crafts and stuff too. But obviously for this one, we're looking at recipes. So it's like, I didn't want to write every single one of them out. And I'm like, okay, so this one. And I was just like, for this one, I started writing them a lot. And I'm like, no. And so I just did this. So I knew which one I was looking at.
So steak with haunted bourbon garlic cream sauce. I think I'm going to need that recipe.
All right, I'll get it to you. And then this one, definitely for Witchkin too, because that kid loves French toast. And it's like, if I can make this and I can put it aside in a bag or whatever, and it can be a grab and go, yes.
I actually just made a basket in the fridge for Apprentice 2 because they do not have near the struggles that Witchkin 2 has. But Apprentice 2, because of their neurospicy brain, the food is weird for them. And getting them to eat enough calories for the day, enough protein, enough vitamins is a fucking struggle bus. And I know Rayne knows what I mean, and I'm really sorry that we both understand this pain. But I got some breakfast sausage links and I cooked them and put them in a baggie in the fridge. And then I put a little basket in the fridge, and it's got like some ham slices and some pre-bagged baby carrots and some little cheeses and some little caramel cups for like fruits and stuff. So Apprentice 2 can just grab that shit and stuff it in their lunchbox.
So I actually made this after you and I had become friends, before our children had their falling out. When I made the Lunchables at home, and I did. I got the small little meal prep containers that literally are snack size, because if that's a meal for you, I applaud you. But I'm going to be eating a lot of those because I'm gonna have to eat like every 2 hours. Because I like food.
Food.
But that's something to go back to doing, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper to get the ingredients and make multiple freaking snackables, Lunchables. I know what I'm saying. It's cheaper to do that than it is to sit there and go, okay. Let me just spend $5 on this thing that I could have made at home easier.
Let me spend $5 on this Lunchable that my kids are not even going to eat all of.
Yeah. And this is one of those things that I'm fairly certain that Raven's been like, I'm sorry I gave you shit for doing that.
Did I give you shit? Please tell me I didn't give you shit.
You didn't give me shit, but you're like, I don't have the energy for that.
Oh yeah. Because like working full time with an hour-long commute each way.
Now, this was when you were working at home.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's ridiculous.
That's why I always kind of just looked at you like, okay.
You know what? I wonder if that was the start of perimenopause, because the fatigue just hits you.
Well, that plus you were still fighting, and you weren't fully acknowledging the level of the depression spiral you were in. And I can say that. I can say that because you and I both cycled through depressions like nobody's business. And I think we're on the upswing because I have been feeling a bit better, even with my frustrations. Same. So if anybody is telling you, hey, are you okay? You seem off. You're sleeping a lot. Go talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
Depression.
Don't snap at them. Understand that it's more than likely coming from a place of concern and love. Unless it's some rando, and then you can punch them. I don't care.
But if someone's saying, hey, you seem a little off, are you okay? And you don't fully realize it, ask them what they mean. And if you can see that, then take that under advisement and go talk to your doctor. There's nothing wrong with getting on meds. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you need the additional help. And this is coming from someone who stayed in survival mode for a long fucking time. When you finally get to where you can be, where you have your safe place and you could just start dealing with all the shit that you were like, I don't have time for this, I'm in survival mode. Start dealing with it. It's going to suck, but you know what? You'll be better for it. So this is,
and you can listen to our dopey voices while you do it.
Exactly. So, blah, 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 blah. So this is where it got, and then as soon as I finished typing this is when she's like, Marian's like, hey, I'm like, oh, you're here now. Okay, cool. But yeah, so this is what I'm going to be pulling recipes and stuff like that. I know that we had discussed putting recipes on Patreon. We have discussed doing a couple of things as far as Raven and I are concerned, because we have not had a chance to sync up with Harley in regards to this, as my brain decided to start functioning.
Because everything has been spicy for all three of us. And I'm ready for some mild.
Fair.
Yeah, so there are going to be some recipes shared on Patreon. And so we want to hear from you guys, like, if you have any tried and true dinner recipes, if you have any favorite holiday recipes, any favorite holiday traditions. And if you recognize one of the recipes that I share on Patreon and you're like, oh my God, I know who it is, well, just shh. Quiet.
We are who we are, but we are also who we are not.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so we have been going, I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to, for some reason, I thought we weren't going to be able to fill up an hour with just the two of us. I don't know what the fuck
I figured it would be just a half an hour and we'd call it good and that would be fine.
And then we're, over an hour now.
Because we are chatty bitches.
We can be, yeah. And then there's other times we're like, okay, I'm tired.
Uh-huh.
But this has been our lovely episode. If there's anything that you want to reach out to us for, we did get a request.
So if you're listening, we are going to tackle those questions that you had. We just want to do it with all three of us.
Yes, because we are three very different parenting units in how we deal with things and when we dealt with these things. Mm-hmm. So you have been seen, you will be getting the response, but we just want to make sure all three of us.
We've heard you and you are in the docket, buddy, I promise.
Yes. And by the way, congratulations. But
I love other people's.
Yeah, can give them back. But so go hit us up on our socials, go check out our webpage, mocmediatx.com. .com.
Yep, don't forget, it's Moms of Chaos Media Texas is basically how you can remember it. So MOC Media TX.
Yes. Because we are the Moms of Chaos. And we will catch you next week. Sorry again for the delay in getting this one out. Everything was crazy.
Life has been spicy, but you're here for the chaos, so we're sorry or you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Night.